Medad. Introduce Israel Medad. Yeah, we'll get to it. Israel Medad, is he here? Yeah. Israel Medad is the director of the Educational Programming and Executive Board member of the Menachem Begin Heritage Center. Oh, it's better this way. We'll say that again. Israel Medad, the director of the Educational Programming and Executive Board of the Menachem Begin Heritage Center. And of course, that has to do a great deal with what we are talking about, the saving of Jesus.
Good evening. Unlike my other appearances here, I am being heard. I try not to be extemporaneous, but I've written my remarks to keep within the few minutes that were allotted, but I will make a personal remark at the end. I can't avoid it. Distinguished guests from the diplomatic corps, members of the Kook family, and other guests. On behalf of the Menachem Begin Heritage Center, I would like to extend to the planners and the organizers of this evening, dedicated to the memory of Hillel Kook, our expression of sincere appreciation for their initiative. Since you will be hearing from persons who worked with Hillel Kook or knew him, I will limit my short remarks to just a few reflections on him and the Holocaust period, which is a special focus of tonight's event. The character and achievements of Hillel Kook have been a part of my life for 40 years now. I have read most of what has been published, both primary sources and secondary research results. Nevertheless, as Dr. Raphael Meadows' recent books make clear, in the end, it was the drive and the passion of Hillel Kook that tipped the balance in his favor. A pupil of Jabotinsky, he was well aware that the European Jewry faced catastrophe. Already in the 1930s, early in the 1930s, the revisionist movement initiated schemes that bordered on the fantastic, including clandestine immigration into the Mandate by land through Lebanon and by sea. A naval academy was founded and later aviation schools, including one in Far Rockaway. Kook had imbibed all this as well as his own role in the early days of the establishment of the Irgun Tzva'im Laumi, beginning in 1937. And to this he applied his own special skills, whether fundraising, political wheeling and dealing, arm twisting, publicity, and above all, the ability to find the right person for the task needed. And, as I was told by Shmuel Katz, he always managed to leave the bill for the dinner for someone else to pay. Kook was aided by a unique group of people. I was privileged to do research for Yitzchak Ben-Ami, Mike, one of the Berkson boys, and found myself at times reliving a mixed-up and illogical world of American Jewish infighting, while both European Jewry went to the ovens, and the Havdil brave resistance fighters fought the British occupiers. It is all the more problematic then that, on the one hand, Kook did not find himself within the Israeli parliamentary system, nor, on the other, that the American Jewish establishment was able too quickly to have Kook's activities hidden and shunted aside. That is all over now, and we can only hope that more learned the lessons and the pathways that Hillel Kook paved through uncharted jungles when he did. The personal remarks now. Another of our Jewish leaders, in order to provide you with a little bit of perspective, has written another letter. This one was published in the New York Times today by Arthur Hertzberg, in which he suggested that the most effective way to force a reduction of the violence on both sides is to take punitive economic measures, in which he suggests that the American government reduce subsidies to Israel. In late April, early May 1948, Dr. Judah Magnus responded to a request by the American State Department and came over to the United States and personally, and the records are in the American Foreign Relations volumes that exist now. Since I picked this up only today, I couldn't bring the material from home. But he went to the Secretary of State and the President of the United States and requested that they stop all funding of Israel, because that way there would be no violence, because if the Haganah had no money in which to purchase arms, there would be no fighting between them and the Arabs. Sometimes we Jews are blessed with a certain amount of logic that is boundless, and therefore, if you try to think of what's going on now and go to a throwback to the 1940s in the atmosphere in which Hillel Kook had to work, and you read the most recent books in which he expounds in a personal interview on his feelings at that time, you begin to understand the amazing achievement that he had in the amount of Jews that he managed to save, the amount of pressure that he needed to bear and bring to bear on the United States government and its officials in order to establish all the various committees that he did. And so I hope this evening is in some small way an attempt not only to deal with Mr. Cook's memory and his activities, but there's also always a lesson for today. Thank you very much.